Hello, welcome. Let's start with chapter number 6, secondary activities. All economic activity such as primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary all are utilizing resources which are essential for its survival. Secondary activity adds value to the raw products such as cotton in its have a less value, but when it is converted by the secondary activity it has a value as a yarn. We can use it after that. Another example is the example of iron ore. We cannot utilize iron ore as it is until or unless it is converted into steel. So, secondary activity adds value to the natural products. Manufacturing involves a full array of production, from handicraft to molding iron and steel, and stamping out the plastic toys to assembling delicate computer component or space vehicle. In each of these processes, the common characteristic are application of power, mass production of identical products, and specialized labor in factories setting for the production of standardized commodities. Manufacturing may be done with modern power and machinery, or it may still be very primitive. Most of the third world countries are the developing country, still manufacture in the literal sense of the term. It is difficult to present a full picture of all the manufacturers in these countries. More emphasis is given to the kind of industrial activity which involves less complicated system of production. Now let us know the characteristic of modern and large scale manufacturing. Method of production, or you may say specialization of skill. That is, goods and articles made in handicraft industries can produce only a few pieces which are made to order, and the cost is higher because the production is less, so cost is higher. On other hand, mass production, large quantities of goods are made repeatedly, enhancing the skill. Here the prices are low because it is in mass production. Mechanization means use of automatic machines to convert raw material into valuable product where human interference is less. Coming to the technological innovations. Technological innovations are provided to avoid the wastage, inefficiency, and pollution from the secondary sector. Technological innovation through research and center development strategies are required for quality product. Then organizational structure are the certain activities to achieve the desired goal of an organization. These activity includes protocols, rules and regulations, role and responsibilities. Stratification of labor force means categorizing of labor on the basis of the skill, experiences, specialization and abilities. For example, large scale manufacture involves white collar worker to the blue collar workers. There are many factors which are affecting industrial location, such as uneven geographical distribution. Major concentration of modern manufacturing has flourished in a few number of places. These cover less than 10% of the world's land area. These nations have become the center of economic and political power. However, in terms of the total area covered, manufacturing sites are such less conspicuous and concentrated on much smaller area than that of agriculture due to greater intensity of the process. For example, 2.5 square kilometer of the American Corn Belt usually includes about 4 large farms employing about 10 to 20 workers supporting 50 to 100 persons, but this same area could contain several large integrated factories and employ thousands of workers. Now let us come to know about manufacturing industry and manufacturing industry. Both are different. Here, the more emphasis is given on manufacturing and over here both are together. So what is the difference? Manufacturing literally means to make by hand. However, now it includes goods made by machine. When it is made by literally made by hand, so it is a manufacturing industry, the upper one. But when these products are made by machines, then it is a manufacturing industry. An industry is a geographical located manufacturing unit maintaining books of account and records under a management system. As the term industry is comprehensive, it also used as a synonym with manufacturing. When one uses term like steel industry, chemical industry, one thinks of factories and process, but there are many secondary activities which are not created on the factories. Can you tell me those factories, such as entertainment factory and the tourism factory or the industry? So clarity, the longer expression manufacturing industry is used. Now let us know the conditions required for the industries. Number one, you should remember the 6 M's. If you will remember the 6 M's, it will make you easy to learn and understand. Number one is man. Man means labor power is required for the industrial. It can be skilled, semi-skilled, or unskilled. Then machine requires energy. So if the industry is located near the power supply such as hydroelectricity, solar electricity, or near the coal field, then it will benefit the industry. Money is required for transportation and communication. If you have a well settled communication and transportation system, then it is good for the industrial. Then market should be near from where you can get the demand and accessibility. Then material means raw material. It should be around the industrial area. Then main industry over here is the access to agglomeration, means link between industry. Many industry benefit from the nearest to the leader industry and other industries. These benefits are termed as agglomeration economies. Saving are derived from the linkage which exists between different industries. These factors operate together to determine industrial location. Now let me explain you about the footloose industry. Over here, the footloose industry doesn't require all these things. Means it can be located in a wide variety of places. They are not dependent on any specific raw material, weight losing or otherwise. They largely depend upon the component part, which can be obtained anywhere. They produce in small quantity and also employ a small labor force. These are generally not polluting industries. The important factor in their location is the accessibility by road network. Now, let us classify the manufacturing industry on the basis of their size. Number one is the household industry, cottage manufacturing. It is the smallest unit, includes craft person, artisans, family member, or the part-time uh, laborers. They use local material. They produce foodstuff, fabrics, mat, containers, tools, furniture, shoes. Some example is goldsmith who makes jewelry from gold, silver, and bronze. In short, we can say household industry means local made product. Then coming to the small scale industries. Small scale industries is distinguished from household industry by its production, technique, and places of manufacturing, workshop outside the home or cottage. Means it is now the small scale industry is those industries which are not worked in their houses or in the cottages. It is worked outside it. And over here, the number of labor is more than household industries and have the semi-skilled labor. Um, Therefore, countries like China, India, Indonesia, and Brazil, and etc., have developed labor intensive small scale manufacturing in order to provide employment to their population. Coming to the large scale manufacturing. Large scale manufacturing, as it is clearly understood that it is a large market, various raw material, enormous energy, specialized workers, advanced technology, assembly line for the mass production, and large capital. This kind of manufacturing developed in last 200 years in the United Kingdom, northeastern USA, and Europe. Now it has diffused in almost all over the world. Now, on the basis of system of large scale manufacturing, the world's major industrial region may be grouped under two broad types, namely traditional large scale industrial region, which are thickly clustered in a few more developed countries, high technology large scale industrial region, which have diffused to less developed countries, industries based on raw material or inputs. Number one is the agro industry. Agro industry produces agriculture raw product which we get directly from the field, such as sugar, tea, oil, etc. Food processing has been known before industrial revolution, such as pickling, drying, fermentation. Now coming to the mineral based industry. Mineral based industry was mineral is a mineral based industry which uses mineral as a raw product, such as iron and steel industry, aluminium, copper, jewelry industry, cement, pottery industry, chemical industry, which uses petrol, salt, sulfur from the natural chemical minerals. Now coming to the forest-based raw material using industry. Forest-based means these industries used forest-based as a raw material like timber for furniture industry, wood, bamboo and grass for paper industry, log industry come from forest only. Then animal-based industry such as leather for leather industry, wool for woolen textile are obtained from animal beside ivory is also obtained from animal elephant's tusk. Industrial based on output product. We have seen some machines and tools made of iron and steel. So the raw material for such machine and tools is iron and steel, which is itself an industry. The industry whose products are used to make other goods by using them as raw material are basic industry. Basic industry because this is the base for each and every industries. The consumer goods industry produces goods which are consumed by consumer directly. For example, industries producing bread and biscuits, tea, soap, and toiletries, paper for writing, televisions, etc. are consumer goods or non-basic industries. Industries based on ownership. Since 10th class or 9th class, we are studying this thing that it is of three types: public sector, private sector, joint sector. Public sector, which is undertaken by the government. Mixed economy, both public and private sector enterprises. Coming to the private sector industry are owned by individual, where only individual person is investing. In capitalist country, industries are generally owned privately only. Joint sector industry are managed by joint stock companies or something the private and public sector together. Traditional large-scale industries region. These are based on heavy industry often located near coal field and engaged in metal smelting, heavy engineering, chemical manufacturing, or textile production. These industries are now known as smokestack industry. Traditional industrial regions can be recognized as high proportion of employment in the manufacturing industry, high density housing, often inferior type, and poor services, unattractive environment, for example, pollution, waste, and so on. Problems of unemployment, immigration, and land area caused by the closure of factories because of the worldwide fall in the demand. Ruhr, we know that Ruhr is in Germany over here. It can come in the map work. So this has been one of the major industrial region of Europe for a long time. Coal and iron and steel formed on the basis of the economy. But as the demand for the coal declined, the industry started shrinking. Even after the iron ore was exhausted, the industry remained using exported ore bought by waterways to the Ruhr. The Ruhr region is responsible for 80% of Germany's total steel production. Changes in the industrial structure have led to the decay of some area, and there are problems. Prosperity of the Ruhr is based less on the production of coal and steel, for which it was initially famous, and more of the new industry like the huge Opel car assembly plant, new chemical plant, universities, out of town shopping center have appeared, resulting in the new rural landscape. The concept of high technology industry. High technology industry is the latest generation manufacturing industry such as R&D, that is research and development. Neatly spaced, low modern, dispersed office plant, lab building rather than massive assembly structure, factories and storage area mark the high-tech industry landscape. Plant business packed for high-tech startup have become part of regional and local development scheme. High-tech industry which are regionally concentrated, self-sustained, and highly specialized are called technopolises. The Silicon Valley near San Francisco and Silicon Forest near Seattle are examples of technopolis, are some technopolis developing in India as well. Manufacturing contributes significantly to the world economy. Iron and steel, textile, automobiles, petrochemical, and electronics are some of the world's most important manufacturing industry. Iron and steel industry. Over here, the iron and steel industry forms the base to all the industries. Therefore, it is called the base industry as well. It is the basic because it provides new material or the raw material for other industry such as machine tool used for further production. It may also be called a heavy industry because it uses large quantities of bulky raw material and its products are also heavy. Iron is exhausted from iron ore by smelting in the blast furnace with carbon and limestone. The molten iron is cooled and molded to form pig iron, which is used for converting into steel by adding strengthening material like manganese. The large integrated steel industry is traditionally located close to the source of raw material, iron and ore, coal, manganese and limestone, or at place where these could be easily bought, example near ports. But in mini steel, mini access to market is more important than input. These are less expensive to build and operate and can be located near market because of the abundance of scrap metal, which is the main input. Traditionally, most of the steel was produced at large integrated plants, but many mini mills are limited to just one step process, steel making and gaining ground. Now, distribution. The industry is one of the most complex and capital intensive industries and is concentrated in the advanced countries of North America, Europe, and Asia. In USA, most of the production comes from the North Appalachian. Here is the North Appalachian can come in your boards. Great Lake. Here, this area. These area are the Great Lake area. This will also come in your exam for the map work. Then there are many. The industry has also moved toward the southern state of Alabama. Pittsburgh area is now losing ground. It has now become the Rust Bowl of USA in Europe, UK, Germany, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and the Russia are the leading producers. The important steel center for Birmingham and the Sheffield in the UK, Duisburg, and etc. All these things are located near the resources. In Russia, the Kryvyi Rog and Donetsk in Ukraine. In Asia, the important center includes Nagasaki and Tokyo, Yokohama in Japan, Shanghai, Tianjin, and Wuhan in China, and Jamshedpur, Kultiban, Durgapur, Rourkela, Bhilai, Bokaro, Salem, Vishakhapatnam, Bhadravati in India. And coming to the cotton textile industry. Cotton textile industry has three subsector, that is handloom, powerloom, and mill sector. Handloom sector is labor intensive and provides employment to semi-skilled worker. It requires small capital investment. Why did Mahatma Gandhi propagate khadi as per the independent movement? This sector involves spinning, weaving, and finishing of the fabric. The powerloom sector introduces the machine and become less labor intensive, and the volume of production increases. Cotton textile mill sector is highly capital intensive and produces fine cloth in bulk. Cotton textile manufacturing requires good quality cotton as raw material. India, China, USA, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Egypt produce more than half of the world's raw cotton. The UK, Northwest European countries, sorry, Northwest European countries and Japan also produce cotton textile made from important yarn. Europe alone accounts for nearly half of the world's cotton imports. The industry has to face very tough competition with synthetic fiber. Hence, it has now shown a decline trend in many countries. With the scientific advance and technologically improvement, the structure of industries changes. For example, Germany recorded constant growth in cotton textile industry since Second World War till the 70s, but now it has declined. It has shifted to less developed countries where labor costs are low. I hope you got the lesson. Thank you for watching.